Hi, this is Dr. Gary, and welcome to the weekly tune-up this week. First thing I want to say, I really appreciate everyone who writes to me, who has a comment on many of the things I talk about, some of the feedback, also some of the ideas. I think that kind of percolates some great information here for many of you out there. It gives me an idea of what's really going on in many of your minds. And one of the big things that seems to come this week through many of you has been the idea of what's going on. Like that old song by Four Non-Blondes, what's going on, what's up? Well, that is a good question. It's really hard to tell because we hear so many contradictory and combative ideas that just aren't compatible with each other. And we have to really understand the most important thing right now for all of us is to control our own state of mind. This time that we're living in right now, I have got to say, of course, I could be wrong. It might have been another time that was more important, but we're living in this time, so this is important to us, is to control our state of mind, to have all of our faculties at hand at any one given time, which means not to be compulsive with drugs or alcohol or anything that's not good for your body, but also at the same time really have a good state of mind. So you are focused, you are thinking, you are on top of your game. The only way you can have a good state of mind is to be thinking things that are going to create a good state of mind. And one of the first things we have to do is be in the moment. You hear me talk about that all the time. Be in the present moment where we can affect change not only inside of ourselves but also the environment around us. To be in an effective state of mind, we have to be focusing on the things that we want, the things that we want to have happen. We have to be proactive rather than reactive, and also understand fear, as we talk about fear many times on this program, really is non-existent. If you really stop and think about it, when we're afraid to do something, it's really looking into the future, seeing ourselves not able to do it. For example, not going to a meeting that we know could be really hedgy for us, and we start focusing on how hedgy it could be, and we start feeling that. Well, the brain believes that's actually happening. When you have a thought, the brain doesn't know the difference between fact and fiction when it finally goes in there. It's just a memory cell, according to the brain. So when you start thinking about that, it starts creating memory cells of that event, and it actually thinks that's real. And then we react to those kind of thoughts like, wow, we've had that experience before. And sometimes we have, sometimes we haven't. But that experience in the future that you're concerned about hasn't happened yet. And that's the operative thing to think about. All the things going on in the world right now that we're afraid of haven't happened yet. Yes, we could say there are things going on in the world that could create that. However, I truly believe, and I truly believe this, and you might want to criticize me for this, but I believe our mass consciousness, the critical mass of each one of us focusing on peace, on health, on prosperity, is going to have a lot more power than the powers to be. If we just all get behind being in the moment, doing the best we can do to be the best we can be, focusing on the things we want to have happen in this world, focus on the things that are good for everyone, that are a win-win for everyone. I believe what happens is when we get into fear, we start just looking what's in it for us. There's a lot of what's in it for me out there in the way people think. And we have to stop that. We have to really become a collective now. We have to think about the big picture and take care of each other. We have to think about what's good for everyone, not just us. And sometimes when we come into money, let's say an example right there, are we going to use all the money just to take care of our life, or can we spread that around a little bit? Now, I'm not talking about socialism. I'm talking about taking care of our brothers and our neighbors and the people that are in our families that we care about. Some people have more and some people have less, and sometimes I've noticed through my life it's been a moving line and a moving wave. Sometimes I've had more and sometimes I've had less. When I have more, I always share it. When I have less, because I have shared, I notice people share with me. So what I'm saying today is, be in the moment. There's that razor fine edge, that past and the future give away at the exact second, but that razor sharp edge is this moment right here, right now, where you can make changes, where you can make choices, where you can create an effect that's going to create the future that you want it to be. Have your mind focused on what you want rather than what you don't want. Have your focus on what you can do rather than what you can't do, and eliminate the virus words, because what they do is create thinking that looks at the presuppositions of failure. So let's work on that this week. Let's take care of our friends and our relatives in our thoughts. Let's put a state of prayer out there of seeing the world, this all working out for the best for everyone. And let's also put a smile on our face and really appreciate and be grateful for this moment right here, right now, where we are alive, where we can affect change in the world and other people in a very positive, worthwhile way. Until next time, this is Dr. Gary wishing you an extraordinary week. And remember, you become what you think about the most, especially if you have passion behind it. Focus on what you want. Until then, bye-bye.